Hello and welcome back to Football Daily, where today we are giving you a rundown of this season's breakout stars. Let's get on with it. Goalkeeper David Soraya. After making just 27 appearances for Sevilla across the previous 3 seasons, 25-year-old keeper David Soraya has finally established himself as a regular at Getafe this campaign. Remember, if you aren't a regular here at Football Daily, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button. After finally escaping Sergio Rico's shadow, Soraya has shone, keeping 8 clean sheets in 23 La Liga games so far, a figure only topped by Jan Oblak and Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Soraya's exemplary form and the goals of veteran strikers Jorge Molina and Jaime Mata have been the key reasons behind Getafe's superb start to the season, which sees them placed 5th, just 1 point outside the Champions League spaces. Although Getafe's entire defensive unit deserves credit for allowing just 10.7 shots per game, 3rd in La Liga and level with the notoriously watertight Atletico Madrid, when called upon, Soraya has been superb. In fact, Jose Bordalas' men have conceded just 21 goals in 23 league games to date, 2 fewer than Barcelona, 8 fewer than Real Madrid, and the 9th best record in Europe's Big 5 leagues. If their rock-solid defence somehow leads them to the promised land of Champions League football, expect David Soraya to be handsomely rewarded this summer. Defender Wan-Bissaka. Yes, we are well aware that we talk about Wan-Bissaka all the time, but come on guys, how could we not include this guy in breakout stars? The 21-year-old right-back actually made his debut in February 2018 in a game against Spurs, keeping his place for the next 2 games against Man United and Chelsea. They may have lost all 3, but the Selhurst Park faithful were so impressed that they voted the Croydon-born star as their Player of the Month. But it was during the 18-19 season in which the England under-21 international truly established himself, missing just 1 of Palace's 26 league games to date and being the key reason behind Palace having the joint 6th best defence in the division at the time of writing. He is not only completing 2.6 dribbles per 90 just behind Andros Townsend's 2.7, but he is completing 6.2 tackles and interceptions per 90. To put that into context, only Idrissa Gueye 7 tops that in the Premier League. In fact, the Englishman has completed 10 more tackles than anyone else in Europe's Big 5 leagues, with his CIS valuation having risen €25 million to €30 million since May. Get this guy while you can. Defender Ibrahima Konate. Packing down alongside Wan-Bissaka in defence is 19-year-old RB Leipzig centre-back Ibrahima Konate. The Paris-born defender first emerged at Sochaux, where he made 12 appearances in Ligue 2 during the 16-17 campaign as his side finished mid-table. His performances were enough to perk the interest of RB Leipzig, who have successfully scouted and developed the likes of Naby Keita, Timo Werner and Dayot Upamecano over the last few years. Despite being just 18, Konate made 16 Bundesliga appearances in 17-18, but it is this year where he has really kicked on. Playing alongside the superb Upamecano, the Frenchman has already played 100 more minutes and been vital to his side, conceding just 19 league goals, just 5 more than the best in Europe PSG's record at the time of writing. The French under-20 internationals married 4.5 tackles and interceptions with 5.2 aerial duels won per 90, the same as aerial monster Harry Maguire manages in the Premier League. If he can improve his passing, which stands at a disappointing 75% completion, the big dogs will surely come calling. And if not, there is always Arsenal, who have already expressed firm interest in the player. Defender Matthijs de Ligt. In the summer of 2018, while Matthijs de Ligt watched the rest of the world battle it out at the World Cup, he could sit back comfortable in the knowledge he was developing nicely. He had made 53 appearances for his boyhood club Ajax and been capped 3 times by his country. But little did he know, just 8 months later, still just 19, he would be captain of an Ajax side, gaining plaudits throughout Europe for their performances at home and on the continent, with his own displays making him the most talked about and desired centre-back on the planet. De Ligt seems to be one of those annoying blokes who has everything: the looks of a model, the frame of a bodybuilder, and a 90% pass accuracy in the Champions League. This exciting Ajax side may be 4 points behind PSV at the time of writing, but they have come alive in the Champions League, helping them become the first Lancers side to reach the knockout stages since 2005-06. 3.5 aerial duels, 3 tackles and interceptions, and 4 completed long balls per game in the UCL, the Dutchman can seemingly do it all. Almost certain to move this summer, will it be Barcelona, PSG or Juventus who land Europe's most exciting defensive talent? Let us know your thoughts in the poll above. Right midfield, Brais Mendes. Celta Vigo's 22-year-old winger Brais Mendes, who is also capable of playing centrally, has been one of the bright spots of an otherwise disappointing Celticos season. Their board might well be regretting their decision to sack former coach Juan Unze at the end of last season. The former assistant to Luis Enrique at Barcelona led them to a 13th place finish, but the club opted to replace him with Antonio Mohamed. After he won just 3 of their opening 12 La Liga games, they decided to bring in Miguel Cardozo in his stead. All this turbulence has left Celta Vigo just 1 point above the relegation spot and facing the very real prospect of a return to the Segunda Division for the first time in 14 years. Despite the chaos going on around them, Brais Mendes has managed to perform superbly, missing just 3 of their 23 league games so far, scoring 5 and assisting 7 in the process. These performances haven't gone unnoticed either, with the youngster earning his first Spain cap in November against Bosnia. With 0.4 expected goals and assists per 90 to his name, and only Aspas and Maxi Gomez contributing to more goals, it's clear Cardozo will need Mendes to keep firing if they are to stand any chance of avoiding the drop. Central midfield, Juan Jordan. This guy is Chris Hamill's new favourite La Liga youngster, and it's not difficult to see why. 6'1" central midfielder Jordan, who can also play as a 10, first emerged at Espanyol, but after making just 6 league starts and 12 appearances in all between 2015 and 2017, he decided to join Eibar. Since then, the Catalonian has shown the Periquitos the error of their ways, with 6 goals and 4 assists helping them to a 9th place finish last season, the Basque club's best ever league standing. Currently 10th but just 5 points off 5th, they could possibly top that this campaign. With draws against Atletico Madrid, Sevilla and a famous 3-0 win over Real Madrid already, it's clear that Eibar are certainly punching above their weight. Jordan has been a key part of that. His output has been great with 3 goals and 4 assists to his name, with only 34-year-old striker Charles contributing more, but it's his baseline stats that really make him stand out. 2 shots, 1.8 dribbles and 2.4 key passes per 90, with only 3 central midfielders in Spain contributing more. The future is certainly bright for Juan Jordan. Central midfield, Otavio. Packing down alongside Juan Jordan in central midfield is Bordeaux's defensive midfielder Otavio. The 24-year-old transferred to Bordeaux from Atletico Paranaense, a solid but unspectacular Brazilian side, and helped Les Girondins to a 6th place finish last term. Already impressive in his first campaign, Otavio has upped his game under Eric Bedoué in 18-19. He is currently averaging a ridiculous 5.4 tackles and interceptions per 90, with only 4 players in Ligue 1 managing to top his 4.1 tackles. Otavio may not be the most well-rounded central midfielder around, but the Destroyer is perfectly comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's completing just shy of 59 passes per game, 10 more than anyone else in the squad, with an 88.8% pass completion. Any mid-table side across Europe looking for massive defensive output could do a lot worse than Otavio. Left midfield, David Brooks. This time last year, 21-year-old winger David Brooks was struggling to nail down a starting spot at Championship side Sheffield United. He may have made 30 appearances in 17-18, but just 9 of those were starts. However, 3 goals and 4 assists in just shy of 1,150 minutes earned him an £11.5 million switch to Eddie Howe's Bournemouth. Since then, Brooks has gone from strength to strength, scoring 6 and assisting 4 from his wing position. A direct involvement in 27% of the Cherries League goals has thrust Brooks into the limelight and into the discussion for Young Player of the Year. 2 shots, 1 dribble and 1.2 key passes, not to mention an impressive 2.6 tackles and interceptions per 90, it's clear that Brooks is now developing into the complete wing talent. Part of a new generation of promising Welsh players coming through, which includes Harry Wilson, Ethan Ampadu and Ben Woodburn. For the 9-cap Brooks, the future is only bright at club and international level. Forward, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Before you all complain about the exclusion of Jadon Sancho in this list, we've written and talked about him to death and instead wanted to focus on someone who was virtually unknown outside of England prior to this season. Unlike his fellow under-17 World Cup winner, who has been given the stage to shine both domestically and on the continent with Borussia Dortmund, Hudson-Odoi continues to fight a losing battle in an effort to get the game time his performances deserve. Despite averaging 4.1 shots, 6.5 dribbles and 4.1 key passes per 90 in the Europa League, admittedly in just 222 minutes, with 3 appearances off the bench, Sarri has so far limited Hudson-Odoi to just 74 minutes of league action. Everything we have seen of Hudson-Odoi suggests that he could make a real impact in this Blues side, which has now scored 7 fewer goals than any other member of the top 6. With just 16 months left on his current contract and Bayern Munich almost certainly set to come sniffing again this summer, Sarri should play him before it's too late. And given Chelsea's current state, could it really get any worse? We struggle to see how. Forward, Luka Jovic. It would be impossible to do a Breakout Stars XI and not mention the man who has taken the Bundesliga by storm this season, Luka Jovic. The 21-year-old Serbian striker had just 79 senior appearances for Red Star Belgrade, Benfica and Eintracht Frankfurt to his name, with a solid 22 goals to boot before this season. Jovic showed glimpses of what was to come last year, with 8 goals in just 929 Bundesliga minutes. But ever since former Young Boys boss Adi Hütter came in and paired Jovic with the superb Sebastian Haller, their form has been immense. Jovic has scored 19 goals and provided 4 assists in 27 League and Europa League games this campaign, at an average of a goal contribution every 73 minutes. This has helped Jadler remain unbeaten in the Europa League and helped propel them into the lofty heights of 5th, as they remain on course for their best league finish since gaining promotion in 2011-12. With an expected goals and assists per 90 ratio of 0.9, it's no surprise that Chelsea and Barcelona are heavily interested. Forward, Krzysztof Piątek. Krzysztof Piątek is quite simply the most talked about striker in world football right now. The Poles brace in AC Milan's 3-1 victory over Atalanta at the weekend, which included a stunning first-time volley, further ingratiated him to the Rossoneri faithful, with whom he now has near mythical status. The gunslinger now has 6 goals in 5 games for the club since his €35 million switch from Genoa last month. The goals against Atalanta made him the first Milan player to score in his first 3 starts for the club since Mario Balotelli, and took his season total to 17, just 2 shy of Cristiano Ronaldo. Piątek is spearheading Milan's superb recent form. Unbeaten in 7, they have conceded just 5 league goals since the start of December, a joint European record alongside Barcelona. Currently averaging 0.8 expected goals per 90, a host of top clubs are now rueing not taking the opportunity to sign him in January. Their mistake, Milan's gain.
So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss one when we produce it. See you next time, guys.